Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Sam's Doing Stuff. What am I doing today? I got a lot of wood to handle. Yeah, we're picking up right where we left off. But first, my mom called and they're almost out of firewood. This is the old way. I'll just be loading in the truck and taking it over and stacking it by hand. I keep saying it, once that machine gets here, I'm not doing this anymore. Oh, gonna be some major improvements for next winter. That'll be enough for now. So I went over to my parents and I gave them their load of wood, and as I'm going through all this stuff, I realized I've got all of these nice small pieces, just little chunks like this, that I, typically would give to them for them to burn. But I was realizing how nicely these small chunks will fit in my stove. So I had to short them a little bit. I sorted through this stuff and I pulled out all these nice pieces because I'm going to burn these in my stove this winter because, it's small. It needs smaller pieces. So that made me realize I need a place to store this stuff. Yeah. That's got to dry out before I go on to the next step. All right, that's got to dry out a good day or so. We'll check it this afternoon, but this is what I'm talking about. You go through this pile and look, this is the stuff I want to keep for me. Get greedy. My parents are going to get plenty of wood. Anyway, I might as well keep stacking one of these totes because I'll tell you what, I really hope that that's the last time I have to bring a whole truckload or trailer load and dump it and handle it and unload it and restack it. Oh, it just doesn't make any sense to me. The machine's coming. It's coming. All right, let's get this thing full. It's pretty impressive how much one of those will hold. I made a big dent in that pile. When it's piled up and mounded, it takes up, everybody knows, it takes up a lot more room. I think the estimate is 20% more space than when you stack it. And I really only need to stack the front neatly so it doesn't fall out. I might put some pallet wrap around it, a couple wraps in the front before I deliver it. But there is the first basket of next year's firewood from my parents. And once that machine comes, I can, I'll just leave it here and I can just wheel it out. But I think I want to fill another one. Two full baskets of firewood. Ha ha ha. I'll tell you something I bet a lot of you guys can relate to. You don't mind doing hard work, right? I don't mind doing hard work. As a matter of fact, I enjoy it. That's why firewood. I mean, hard work, exercise, feeds the OCD, everything about it. I really enjoy it. But I don't like doing the same work twice. You know what I'm saying? And I know, there's a big debate, or everybody does things differently. Everybody has a way of doing firewood. That's fine. But there's do I stack it or do I pile it? And I love watching Chris in the woodyard. He knows what he's doing. And I'm not saying he's doing it wrong, but I can't do that. I can't just make huge piles of firewood. And then when it's time to deliver, I hate chucking it into a trailer. He does a lot of wood chucking, but I cannot stand it. It drives me nuts to have to handle every piece of that wood again and chuck it into the trailer. And another guy, Joe from Ohio Woodburner, which I really like to go up and see him sometime, he stacks his wood in beautiful stacked piles, and I agree 110,000%. It really adds value to your firewood, and it makes your wood yard look very nice. And I agree with it. Stack, stack, stack. But when he delivers his firewood, he has to go over and he has to load it into his truck, and then he has to unload it out of his truck. No. That's why I spent the money on a machine that will lift a full basket of wood and deliver it without damaging lawns, without hurting anything. I can't go upstairs and I can't go through a fence, but I can put a basket of firewood just about anywhere a customer is going to want it, and I don't have to touch it. I do the work once. You see what I'm saying? Do the hard work once. Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's do some more work. Alrighty then, so I found a different bladder that didn't have that black goop in it. This had like a pink glue. Kind of smells like latex paint. I'll be sniffing glue here for a little bit. Anyway, let me get in here. I'm just gonna screw this down to this pallet using some wood screws and some washers, just so it doesn't slide off. It's a little rich in here. Good enough. Whew, that's a little stanky. I think it'll be better over time.
That don't make no sense.
Ooh, I better stop sniffing that stuff. All right, so now all of this stuff can just go in here. No, I am not going to stack all those little tiny chunks. This will be fine. I will tell you one thing that's absolutely certain. This thing's gonna fill up in a hurry. I'm gonna need more than one. But I want you to fast forward in your minds to this winter, this coming winter of 2025, late November, it's getting cold, and I've got my wood burner set up in there. All of this stuff is dry and seasoned. And I need to do some work in the barn. Close a garage door, a real garage door. Remember, I want a garage door this year. Close the garage door, block that west wind, fire up the wood burner. Oh, it's gonna be wonderful. That's too big.
That's what she said.
Nice and easy. That's heavy. So I will absolutely, most definitely be keeping these bins in this barn. Number one, because that's where they're gonna be burned. But number two, these bladders will fill with rainwater, of course. So, and yeah, I know there's a valve on the bottom of it, but it would definitely have water in it, and I don't want that, so I'll just keep them in here. All right, so let's get back to it now, because I think this is gonna probably be the main point of this video. Really, stacking versus bulk. So in my situation, and like I said, with Chris in the wood yard or with Joe from Ohio Wood Burner, they've got their system down. Everybody does something differently. I'm not saying that anybody is wrong, but let's just talk about me, okay? First of all, the market I'm in, there are a lot of guys that are selling bulk firewood at around $200 a cord. You know, they're selling to the customer that is looking for that deal. They want the cheapest firewood because they're probably heating with it, and you know, whatever they can save in bulk firewood, that's what they're gonna do, okay? So that's the customer that I'd be competing for if I were selling bulk firewood in a big pile, okay? The customer I want to compete for is the one that looks at this, and even though this is the stuff that I'm giving to my parents, when you look at that pre-stacked firewood delivered in a basket wherever you want it, let me show you what happens. So I'm going to take this piece of firewood right here, okay? This piece of firewood, I don't even know why this one is going to my parents. It's a nice piece of firewood, but anyway, this is the example, all right? If I throw it over here, $200 a cord. If I do this with it, $400 a cord. These are $100 a basket, and it's about a quarter cord per basket. $400 a cord, $200 a cord. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but Sam, hold on a second. What about all the time you waste stacking firewood when you could just maybe throw it into a conveyor and up and into a mountain of wood? Listen, we all only have so many hours during the day. Nobody has 26 hours a day. Everybody's got 24. So you need to balance that time between when you're working and when you're spending it with family. And that's an important thing. It's very important to me, at least. Look at Outdoors with the Morgans. He just bought an Easton-made Evo, so he could spend more time with Hunter and instead of spending all that time splitting wood. Well, I've got this little box store splitter, okay? It only makes so much firewood. So it really makes sense for me to take this. This is a commodity. It's only worth so much. And it makes total sense for me to just do this and double the price of it. In this basket, pre-stacked and delivered, it's worth double. So, most amount of money, least amount of time. All right, back to doing stuff. This situation over here has bothered me for a while. These are my John Dow 15-gallon fuel transfer tanks, whatever. I don't use them that much anymore. I think the real reason is they're just so darn slow. The fuel just kind of gravity feeds out and it just takes forever. I don't know. I don't know what to do about these. I don't know whether I should sell them. They've increased in price so much. They're $213 a piece now on Amazon. And I've been using those 5-gallon cans because it's so much cheaper and quite frankly, it's faster and easier. So I don't know. I want to get these out of here because now, as we've been talking about, these baskets are really an integral part of my situation. So, you know, I didn't used to use these. That's why I just stuck this on top of here. But these baskets are important now, so I got to get this taken care of. Oh, would you look at that? Just look at it. Just look at it. Yeah. So now I'm transferring this stuff that I had in here. Now, of course, the goal, I didn't even know where the camera was. The goal is I will have a basket for my parents set beside the splitter somehow. Got to get the whole thing organized. And I will throw their pieces directly into their basket. Just touch them once. That's going to be it. Right now, this is the old system. I'm just transferring over to the new system. So these open face baskets that go all the way to the floor, those are for paying customers because I think it's the most accessible way to get to it. These here, the fronts were already cut out in U-shape. I just widened them out a bit so it'll be easier, but these will go for my parents. So take this from here, fill it the rest of the way out in the wood yard, and keep doing it this way from now on. Now, if there's any chance of me not stacking firewood, it will be in these totes that go to my parents. There's probably a very good chance that I will just start dumping into this or throwing it in and not stacking it because, you know, they don't care. It does save space. I don't know. Let me tell you something. I love that manual pallet jack. Absolutely. I don't know why I didn't have one before, you know? Things are clicking, man. Things are going really, really well around here. And I can see what, you know what my end game is here. I'm trying to get everything cleaned up and ready because that windfall of logs is all sitting out there on the grass and I can't have that. Cannot have it just sitting there. It's gotta be either up on runners or on the concrete or up here being processed. So, hey, I know the argument between stacking and not stacking. Everybody has a different process. My process works for me for now. You know, I'm always changing and thinking and trying to do things better, but I really think I've landed on a really good system here. And certainly for deliveries, you know, even for my parents, that bulk. Now, I'm gonna still have to have a bulk pile. You know, they burn about 4 cords a year, and I can't store 4 cords. They're gonna have to have a rotating system with the baskets. You know, empty basket comes to me, I fill it, bring it back to them. So there will still be a bulk pile over there in the corner when it's all said and done. But I'm not gonna take it to their house, stack it in their yard, unstack it into the wheelbarrow, bring it to the back porch, stack it on the back porch, take it out of the back porch, put it in the wood box, take it out of the wood box and put it in the fireplace. No more of that. Yeah, there's always got to be a better way to do stuff, and I think I'm finding the best way for me. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening in the next video. Hopefully I can get this finished, cleaned up, and we'll start moving those logs, get everything, you know, ready to fill more baskets. So hope you'll stop by, and I'll see you then when I'm doing more stuff.